A billion FPS. I wish it was that fast, or that many FPS. You'd really get to see the flaws in this game's graphics then. Although it did look pretty good for the time, and especially being an updated version of an N64 game. Yeah, get a load of this place. Getting through here is going to be a little bit rough, isn't it? Oh, time to spontaneously gain some new abilities.
Rayman, I've got some good news and some bad news.
Start with the good news.
This level looks like bad news enough. God, her head is huge. I've never really noticed until now.
Whoa, a new power? Yippee! Yeah!
Now you can fly with your helicopter.
The bad news is you're very rarely going to be able to do it.
So here's some advice. Use your helicopter power to fly.
Oh yeah, that's real good advice!
Activate your helicopter power, then keep the cross key pressed down.
The cross key, pardon me?
Press the L2 button to move sideways. It's easy.
Ah yes, hold a button to be able to strafe. Good old early 2000s 3D game design. So yes, there you go. There's a little bit of air quotes flight in this game, which is just you hover up higher, and I'm trying to. Can I get the stupid snake thing, please? Otherwise, I get a feeling that it's gonna hit me while I'm trying to go up. Speaking of going up, enjoy your camera angle or lack thereof for lining up to get in the hole. Yeah, of course, the gamer can't get in the hole, right? The jokes write themselves. To be fair, Ubisoft is a French company, and I believe this was from one of their French studios, so... You know, if you... Actually, we do have a better camera angle here, that's good. But, yes, this is what we're dealing with in this level, is... a whole lot of dodge the obstacles, don't touch the walls because that's instant death, and randomly press and hold the X button to make sure you go higher. It's a little bit on the funky side. However, once we get over the first few hurdles of like actually getting into things, oh good gravy, there's a gust of air here. That's not great. But if we didn't have to collect anything, this would probably not be too bad. Like, sure, it would be a challenge and probably a pretty big step up, but it would not be the grossest thing in the world, in my opinion. I would sooner play this over that Sanctuary of Rock and Lava, or whatever it was. Sanctuary of Stone and Fire, pardon me. Level, which we didn't get everything in, so we are going to have to go back to that eventually, because I believe you have to get everything in the game in order to get the proper ending. Oh, where do we take damage from? Is it from one of these braziers? Oh yeah, look at all these lava columns. This is going okay so far. We had a bit of a challenge getting through the main entry, and then everything seems to be panning out a little better. Anyway, yeah, despite this being a hard level, and hard levels in Rayman 2 usually being absolutely bastard hard, I actually quite like this level. It's pretty good. And the gimmick is, you know, figure-outable enough. Problem is, I hear that cage and now I don't know where it is. Or I heard the cage, anyway. Just further down? I'm gonna have to assume that, yeah. Oh, I see it there. Yeah, there we go. Alright, there's a hole in the floor. We're going in the hole. Ah, yes, we're going in the hole. And we get a little bit of a save sequence, which of course I'm going to take all of those in this level because as much as I like it, it is pretty hard. Let us not destroy ourselves. Oh, that's a menacing angle. This is where dreams go to die, folks. I've got the wrong game up. Oh, motherfucker. That means I didn't finish, that means I didn't save my things. Hang on a second. I do this a lot. It is a recurring issue of some description. Go in here and fix this. Oh, for fuck's sakes, I actually did change this earlier, and it's not showing that it didn't change properly. It didn't save. Let's fix that. That is fixed, hopefully. I'm about to find out that it didn't save it even after it's like, oh, by the way, yeah, we saved it. Yeah, yeah. And then suddenly finding out, oh no. Oh no. Where? Yeah, I did say this is an area where dreams go to die, right? Because yes, this forward current is pretty strong. And the best we can do is we can fight it a little bit. And we've got all these things to collect. But again, it's a good thing they don't have lives in this game. It's basically just, oh, you continue from the start of the area if your health bar gets completely depleted. And the checkpoints are if you fall in a pit or something. So they do give you a little bit of ease with that. The stakes are shockingly low. Aside from having to repeat this section over and over. That could probably get pretty irritating. We are dragging our ass along the flaming carpet here a little bit. We're like a sad, sad dog. Oh, I thought I missed that. Why does most of the game you've seen me through have no BGM? That is a very good question. There are a lot of areas where the soundtrack is actually very minimal for reasons that I'm not 100% sure of, aside from like, oh, well, it's atmosphere or something, which, you know, how much atmosphere does this game really need? Oh, crud. This is going to be a tough obstacle, actually. There's definitely a lot of very subtle, a lot of areas that are very musically subtle, and some that are just not musical at all. I'll put it down as it sounded like a good idea in 1998. Again, I think it was 1998. I can't necessarily keep this together too well in terms of that one. It sounded like a good idea in the late 90s, let's say that. And then nobody ever seemed to realize, oh, it's not a good idea when they were updating this game for any of the other re-releases. And yeah. Then again, it's Ubisoft. If they were always full of good ideas, well, we wouldn't be pointing out that it's a Ubisoft game, now would we? We missed something in this pathway anyway, so let's go ahead and just jump off the edge. Get refreshed here. Start doing this some more. However, it looks like we got all of our health back that time, so that's good. we will be able to expend a lot more of it on failures to pick up items. Or to get over that branch. Again, get a little close to the lava here. That's just what you gotta do sometimes. You gotta... sometimes... put your life in some truly needless danger. Oh, we were almost over that. And there it is. There's the one that we missed. Better. There we go. Alright, now don't get blown into the wall by the draft. Yeah, that L2 to strafe kinda works, but not quite as well as advertised, in my opinion. Rayman can't control himself that well in this level. Well, I guess the wind gust is gone, so it's probably a little better. Behind you, it's a man with a nacho cheese for a head. Ooh. Getting snuck attacked by the Dorito demon, that's not good.
I can't fly anymore.
Wow, he punched an ability out of us. This fucker is pretty strong. Fooch. What kind of name? Sounds really terrible. So this is the first time that a boss from the original game should really be giving us trouble. I believe to deal with this, we, much like the previous boss, have to drop stalactites on his head. Yeah, like that. I would assume so. This is definitely, as far as Faust being an inspiration, yes. So, yeah, this fight is more annoying than anything, really. I remember this chase being a lot more frustrating. And in fact, maybe there is a part of this that I don't remember, but... yeah, so disregard what I said earlier, I guess, about this boss showing some teeth, because that was pathetic. Although now comes the part where I gotta actually figure out how to get out of here. Alright, where's my purple hula hoop here? Turn the camera, please, with my body. Be nice. Because I wouldn't expect actual camera controls to be functioning there. Oh, they want us to drop down the... well, I guess we can't get across the pit, so... down the hole we go. Yeah, so I would just like to say, to compare that, which I believe is the second to last boss in the regular game, to the thing that we fight at the end of the boss Biddy Tank we fought in the world map earlier that they added in for Rayman Revolution. So for some reason, that really is just like a massive difficulty spike in the middle of the game that goes away pretty much. Also, we appear to have missed an entire area of that level because I'm short a cage and like 15 lums. Unless we're not properly done, which I don't think is the case, because I'm pretty sure we're gonna present the third mask to Policus and then everything carries on from there.
And the miracle will come true.
Yep. Okay. I'm sure we don't need to rush this. It's a 90s platformer. It's not even a 90s RPG. They don't give you a time limit in this. Yeah, we missed a ton of shit there. Which is unfortunate, because I don't know where else we could have gone, really. That level is very straightforward, unless there was a branch at the very end of that first section, or some other area. Oh, wait, I remember where it is.
Rayman, it's horrible. Pirates have managed to capture Clark. It seems
Again?
they're carrying out experiments on him. There's an
Oh no,
experiment
experiments.
somewhere in the Skullscape.
Okay, so now we actually go to that lava pit, and I realized that I remember where those things are, so I'm actually going to go and see about getting them. At least I think I remember where they are. They're underneath the start area of that level, so... forget it. You demanded more terrible flight mechanics.
There's nothing left to do here.
Although, it's saying that, I've seen worse flight mechanics out of a lot of video games in the era. I gotta tell you, it's better than swimming in most games. 3D platformers were certainly a thing. And continue to be a thing, I believe. Alright, so... we don't want to go in the hole. We want to go over here, yes. I forgot until I mentioned it that this is not just a solid chunk. You have a tunnel here with camera angles that aren't good. So we're hoping to get an entire set here. No, we're still short 8 things. Well, we got somewhere with it, I guess. Alright, up through the vine hole. Oh, well, I got comboed by the environment there. Good work. Can't even take on a stationary target, apparently. I can exit back out the way I came. There really needs to be, like, an exit level, a dedicated exit level thing for, you know, when you're not at the very end of the level, because... yeah. Camera. Camera! Okay, fine, don't let me go first person. I'm trying to make sure that there's nothing here that is in an area for me to miss. But if you don't want me to know shit, I guess I don't know shit. Just pretty much gotta check every area, because the camera is not gonna give you any real mileage whatsoever. Yeah, we're still getting pushed forward, too, so that's not likely to be a thing. Well, oh well. Although I gotta say that the controls for flight in this are definitely really strange, even if I do think that it works better than a lot of other games. Because it's a lot of just start and stop pressing holding the X button. pressing, holding. Yes, that's how I want to word it. It's basically all... Your height control is basically, like, entirely in the X button. And so having an input display at this moment would be great, because I'd love to just be like, hey, yeah, look at how much I'm tapping this one button over and over. Also get a load of how little we use the circle button in this game. Alright, so we got the Curtain of Death over there that we can't really get a little health back. Oh no, that's just the glow from that thing. And we're coming up pretty close to the part where I'm going to be inspecting the end of this path just to make sure that there's not a hidden area here that I didn't remember. Yikes, that was getting a little close there. Land here. Okay, well, for a start, I missed a thing right there. There's a checkpoint. Get out of my face, please. Oh, yeah, there's stuff up there that we missed. Is this going to be everything, though, is the question. No, we're still short 2. We're still short 2. I'm trying to think if I saw and didn't collect anything in this part of the level. Yeah, exactly. The thing is that, aside from me being a little bit on the obsessive side about this anyway, I think you actually do need to get everything in order to at least get one of the endings. Because, of course, you know, that's always going to be an issue, but it might be necessary to go to the final boss, in fact. And by the way, I do agree with anybody who wants to issue the sentiment that requiring the players to collect everything in order to fight the final boss would be kind of bullshit. Because, like... Well, we missed that area, but I think we got all that stuff anyway. Mario 64... You had to collect a little over half. It was 70 stars out of the 120. And really, you didn't even need any of the caps, technically, I don't think. And then Banjo-Kazooie did make you collect most things, actually, because you had to get to, like, 92 or something jiggies to finish the game. Or was it 96 to finish the Gruntilda puzzle? It was 96 either to finish the Gruntilda puzzle or to finish the Gruntilda puzzle and the optional red honeycomb puzzle. But basically, you did have to collect most things in that, but that game was pretty short. And most of that stuff was fairly contained. DK64, I'll actually praise DK64 a little bit here and say that they only made you collect like half of the things in that game. you really only had to collect 100 golden bananas. You didn't have to get any of the blueprints, really. You had to get the rareware Nintendo coins, which, okay, that did kind of suck. But that meant you only had to collect 15 banana medals out of 40. And for that matter, 5 of them were freebies that you could take from Hideout Helm. So you literally only had to collect 10 of those from the regular levels. You could just complete Angry Aztec in terms of bananas and then just only get what you need afterwards. I'm checking in here because I thought I saw a little bit going on with the shading, but I was incorrect. You only needed 4 of the crowns as far as I can remember. And the banana fairies, I think, could be ignored entirely. In fact, the only thing that you needed all of was to fight all the bosses. Which, I guess, meant you had to unlock all the Kongs, but meh. Meh. And in Crash Bandicoot, the only thing you ever had to collect was the crystals. There was a lot of stuff you could get for collecting the other things, but you only had to collect the crystals. And I would say that Crash Bandicoot is usually a little more accurate to what this game is than, like, the regular 3D Collectathon, because a lot of this game is very linear. And once again, we didn't collect everything in this level, but I don't know where the other 2 thingy-doos are. There. Hello, Iromnik. That was a bit of a weird, sound thing at the end there. Our music didn't cut off. Funky. But we're a little more collected here, I guess. Unfortunately, that's only a little bit. Where is our... It's Pirate Mines. Precipice. Where is our port back to Glowbox House? Take the Shining Door. That seems like a bit of a non sequitur there because, yes, that could describe a lot of locales in that particular stone circle.
Rayman, it's horrible. The pirates have managed. It seems to get
Take the Shining.
There's an entrance to their laboratory.
Or if you don't want to get sued, take the Shinning. What you mean the Shining? Shh! You want to get sued? Groundskeeper Willie. He exists. So let's go to the Skull Cave location, which we've seen that lava pit a couple of times before. And we can finally cross it. I actually have not seen The Shining, by the way. I'm not much of a film person, though, so yeah. And as you will notice, our flight ability is restricted to over pits full of lava. Otherwise, we have lost the ability to fly. We can only go across updrafts. Well, big updrafts anyway. And... see where all this stuff is. Yeah, see, it will just drop us. The odds I'll ever review Pink Floyd's The Wall, the film. Well, after Doug Walker's video, what would be the point? I'm kidding, obviously. I will probably do it at some point. The Wall is a pretty interesting movie. There's a lot to discuss there. So... we don't speak of Doug Walker. Exactly. Honestly, the fact that I had to bring up that exists at all made me feel a little bad. Oh, Razorbeard's having a bad time. What a good villain, actually. I'm still kind of blown away by the fact that Doug Walker was so fucking bad at getting anything right with that review of the wall. Like, holy crap, dude. You think you're a film critic after that? He probably doesn't. But I digress. Rayman 2 is... I generally still have a lot of fun with it, but it has a lot of showing its age, really. It is very much a 90s game. Also, that loud slam. The music in this area is quite something. Here in the Tomb of the Ancients. Oh, hi, spider. However, this time we actually don't get chased by the spider. We just fight this spider. I think there was another one that that we fought earlier. Wow, that thing kicked my ass. I think I need more health anyway. That spider was just on top of me. Mark, no. Stop that. That is incredibly cursed. That's kind of next level. Also, we've got the zombie chickens in here again. So I'm gonna try doing things a little bit smarter here and just use my ricochet to its fuller advantage a little bit. To try and get some glancing blows on this spider without taking too many hits. As we get the psycho strings going in that song, too. But, yeah, that was... I forgot about that spider. I don't remember a whole lot about this level, except that... So, remember very early in the game, I don't remember if anyone does, especially because I've been at this for several weeks now, off and on. Just by virtue of I stream this game one day of the week, and the last couple of weeks I've been really tired at around my usual stream time. And I don't want to be out here doing makeup streams at 2 in the morning. That, you know, that's almost as bad as not doing them almost. It feels like nobody would know that I existed, pretty much. What was I saying? Well, first of all, we were doing something about that piranha's poor teeth. So... You may remember, I think this was even back in the first stream of this that I did, where we had probably the funniest moment in the game where Razorbeard just straight up ate a yellow lum and it got removed from our count. It's still in the game. This is the level where it is, and is here in the Tomb of the Ancients. Which, you know, that kind of makes sense. It's a tomb. The lums are pretty ancient, apparently. If they are, you know, pieces of the core of the world or whatever. And this spider is not in a great location for me to be fighting. Oh, I got tapped by the tiny one. Dang it. Oh, is there an... Oh, is it just infinite spiders? Unlimited spider works. Oh, I would not be happy with that. That's not a very good birthday present. My birthday was months ago, though, so... I think there's some stuff we can do around here. Happy birthday. My birthday was back in September, so, yeah, I guess, thanks? Ooh, that camera angle is not really helping me figure out where anything is. What did I get? I got a lot of PC parts, if I... Yeah, it was basically just PC parts. Which is fine, because up until that point, my PC, I had built it in, like, late 2013. So I managed to upgrade to a much more recent processor, which is an AMD Ryzen 7 3700X. Which is now, there's already something better than that, which, although that's okay. The way a lot of this stuff seems to go is that there's still kind of like marginal upgrades each few times, and it's not super important really to upgrade that soon. Especially because, yeah, I had that PC from many years ago, and it was still working pretty good. I just figured it was time to get an upgrade and be ready to, you know, basically to be ready for the part where I actually would definitely need it. Also, enjoy some bit crunched explosion sounds. Those missiles are nice and crunchy sounding. So yeah, the new processor is nice. That will allow me to do some more intensive stuff. Possibly even emulate some more recent consoles if that becomes a thing that I need to do. Which, to be fair, I do at some point want to properly look into Too Human, the game made by the guys who made Eternal Darkness for the Xbox 360, and so short of getting a 360, that might be the path I take if it works properly in that regard. The orange things that I get at the channel, those are the skin that I made for channel points. They're supposed to kind of look like... Well, actually, it's an edited version of the coins from Yoshi's Island, designed to make them look a little bit more like pennies, hopefully. Although I think I made them a little too orange as opposed to the coppery color of pennies. But... yeah. Also, speaking of what Mark was saying earlier about lack of BGM, that seems to be going on again here, but I think that's a glitch this time. Well, it's probably a good thing you did, because they actually are from, as you can tell... Oh. Did it not update? Oh, I'm gonna be really salty if it didn't update, but... I changed it. I fucked up earlier, as was mentioned, by failing to properly save updating my game and the stream title, but maybe it once again did not save. Which would kind of suck. Does it still say that? First of all, try a quick refresh and give me a quick minute here to check that. Also, we're getting some music again. Music. Alright, so popping the window open, it says it shows Rayman 2 Revolution and all that on my end of things. Do a quick refresh, I guess, and make sure that that is correct. I gave it another update just to be sure. And hopefully everything is okay. So, test it on the stream. I got transcodes today. Well, oh wow, do I have like actual transcodes today? Oh, thank you for the bit. I see that once again, Streamlabs did not update my soundbite for cheering. Thank you for that one bit, though. That is very nice. Well, your notification will probably be from email there, Retro. And As a result, it would not update in the email. That would probably involve a little bit of high-tech sorcery that is a little beyond Twitch's, you know, their ability to... If you give me 1 bit, eventually I can... Once I get towards a total of, like, $100 from, amount of bits. Bits are basically worth a penny, and subs, I get a cut of that from the cost there. Once I hit $100 total, you know, various Twitch income, I can request to have that payment sent to me, and it will be sent in some amount of time that I forget exactly. I've been doing this for a while, and I haven't really made a whole lot of money because I have a very small audience. However, I'm just large enough to get in to being an affiliate. Basically, yes, it is a way to help support the stream. It didn't make a whole lot of sense. Well, honestly, Twitch doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Either way, put it this way, I'm kind of bad at public speaking is the other thing, is I fully admit that I am not an impressive ad-libber. Like, I do other videos on YouTube of, like, mostly a documentary persuasion, but occasionally a couple of more general review type of videos get in there. And I have to do a lot of retakes on a lot of those, even the ones that I've scripted, because my public speaking is not necessarily... It is what you would call not impressive, as you can tell from this going on. But basically, yes, for 1 bit, eventually I get a penny. That sounds extremely unimpressive, actually, now that I say it like that. Yeah, Rayman is definitely not going to be destroying any planets with his charge shots, but they do some extra damage, so I'm not going to complain too much. Like our missile master over here, Missile Mike, is going to take a lot less time to take down from taking that hit. I do talk a decent amount, which, I mean, I guess at least there's that. I'm not going to leave a ton of dead air unless I'm focusing really hard. There are some streamers who are not very talkative. And it is a very strange thing because part of the appeal of a stream really is the personality of the performer. I somehow forgot what the word streamer was, but performer is a good generalized term. And, you know, if you don't talk a whole lot, it ends up boiling down to gameplay, which is not always, like, at that point, you pretty much have to be a little bit of a D. Tysonator type of person, where you're doing something completely out to lunch to really get a whole lot of anyone interested. Otherwise, I'll just watch a long play on YouTube. Which seems like a strange thing to advocate, because I spent a lot of the era when Let's Plays were becoming, like, well, sort of the second boom, because obviously there was the initial phase of like the Something Awful type of stuff. And I think I gotta go back that way to go mess around with that hoop. But when YouTube Let's Plays were becoming big, like, not in the sense of the Markiplier type of format, but really, I guess, with what is literally sort of the second wave of essay-style video LPs just being done on YouTube, I spent a lot of that period being like, oh, that's stupid. I'm not gonna I probably said much worse words because that was when I was in college and I was not exactly a cultured individual back then. And so I spent a lot of time having great disdain for that. And then I started watching... The first LPer that I really paid any real attention to was Round the Wheel RTW, who is now back doing stuff for like almost a year at this point. Oh, absolutely. I was definitely an uncultured swine, if ever there was one at that point. So I started watching Round the Wheel RTW because I found him... one of his videos linked on a TV tropes page for Lemmings. So I guess let's never say that website never did anything good for anyone, because otherwise I wouldn't have found the guy, and we've become good friends since then, which is nice. So I started watching him, and this was when he was starting Oh No More Lemmings almost 10 years ago. In fact, it may have been over 10 years ago now. Ow. That was not exactly what you would call a good angled shot. I think I gotta go up this way. And through him, I eventually found Brysolf, and that's when I started actually watching quite a few pretty decent video LPers off and on, and that's how I found Plastic Alan, and that's pretty much why I have any streaming audience almost at all at this point. So, yes, eventually that disdain very much went away, but I was definitely a Jonathan Arrives Lately, if that's what the term... No, I'm saying that incorrectly on purpose, aren't I? Of course I am. That again is part of what I go for sometimes, is just to say things wrong for a bit of a humorous effect. I hope it's funny, at least. Have I ever told you how self-conscious I am about being an entertainer? Where... And these chuckleheads just parachuted in here. Oh, this one does not want to be hit. Do you even attack, or do you just jump? Oh, there we go. Don't ask, and you will not find out, I guess. So, yes, there we go. That's my story of learning about LPing and stuff like that. So, the fact that I held the idea as being so stupid at the time makes it kind of silly for me to be like, hey, maybe I would rather watch a long player than a streamer who doesn't talk very much. Like, it is strange to see completely no mic streams if they're not part of, like, a race or something. Which will often happen because there's a lot of speedrunning related races and stuff that happen on Twitch, and so you'll get cases where the streamer will stream their raw feed and it will get picked up by another couple of streamers who are doing color commentary for those streams and, the content of the race. I've watched quite a bit of that because there are a couple of games that have been really fun to watch speedruns of. I mean, I generally enjoy a lot of speedrunning content, actually, so... And we're getting invaded by the chickens here. Is this repentance for, like, all of my chicken dinners over my entire life? Which has been quite a few. I definitely eat a noticeable amount of chicken. Well, it depends on the game, really. There's definitely some that are a little strange, and like, I gotta say that an RPG speedrun is always a really bizarre thing because, you miss out on the story. And the game mechanics only stand up to a little bit of scrutiny. You too, Iromnik. I almost called you Iron Mike. That's not correct. That sounds like a name that already exists. Have a nice evening there, Iromnik. And definitely speedrunning, once you get to a world record point, I've noticed from, like, every single world record tier speedrunner who is ever trying to grind out any harder, that they do not have fun after a point. Like, back when I watched Sirium, who, honestly, fuck that guy, lately, he definitely was not having fun with a lot of the Earthbound runs. Because he was just trying to go for, Oh, right! Right, okay. There we go. Iron Mike, Mike Tyson in his prime. That makes sense. Gotcha. Unfortunately, I have to apologize for the fact that there will probably not be a whole lot of MTPO on this channel because I'm fucking terrible at Punch-Out, though. Maybe one day I'll get good at it. Oh, I know what I said, Fire Drake. Can I... This hole is really hard to drop down to. Is there a... Just hold down? Okay. So, yeah, he wasn't having a whole lot of fun. I do at least think Dr. Swellman was having a lot of fun when he was grinding it out, but he has since switched primarily to playing, to racing Earthbound Ancient Cave randomizers and speedrunning Metroid Prime. And, you know, that's definitely something that's a very different speedrun. Brysolf occasionally still does runs of Super Smash TV, but definitely when he was trying to grind out for sub 40 minutes on normal difficulty, Brian was absolutely not having fun. Like, he was definitely very much an angrier person, and you know, the guy definitely needed a little bit of somebody to be like, hey, you should take a break, but he was not having it. Oh, that was done shockingly well, except for the part where I fell off. Drop, please? There we go. Oh, right. I think it's you gotta go to the direction that is opposite of the plank you're holding, so that's why I was screwing that up. Either way, so yeah, speedrunning, probably not fun to do. Fun to watch usually when, again, a lot of that does depend on the commentator, and also there are times when you will just see things in some of those runs that's like, wow, really? You can do that? RPG speedruns, I feel, are a little less subject to that sort of thing because a lot of it is just like, oh, you're doing this with low resources and low level. Good for you. I've seen that those runs exist on game FAQs, but then you'll see some like actual platformer speedruns. I actually have learned a couple of fairly doable sequence breaks in Prime just by watching like not even speedrunners. Resident Evil speedruns. That I bet that's something else. That sounds like quite a thing. Quite an adventure. Oh, I guess that charge runs out after time. Alright, so apparently just grappling up to that to that particular hula hoop over there, which is not what it's called, but bear with me, is just not... Oh wow, that was rude. That was just rude, game. What are you doing to me? Oh right. Trying to make sure I don't complete it, I guess. The game has to put up a semblance of resistance later on or something. Is this the direction we want to go? to get back to that area. Well, we can get behind the flamethrower guy. Hang on a second. Sorry about that. Brief interruption. Whoa. Where the hell am I going? I wonder that every day. I guess we're gonna go across the... Well, I guess we're gonna crash into a bat and follow our unfortunate fate in the sludge. Hello? That chucklehead not respawn? Well, okay. Having bats as an enemy in a 3D platformer can be such a pain just by virtue of you don't always know if they're actually going to hurt you or not. Well, that was cool. Alright, so this resets us here, and we get the health again, and... Wait a second. Reset, what am I talking about? Let's skip over that, and... Camera controls need to quit complaining and just let me work. Come on. Hey. That is a lot of zombie chickens. Again, not a complaint that I figured I would have much of any time in my entire life. And yet here we are. They make really unfortunate noises. And by unfortunate, I mean fucking gross. But... So here's where these things are that we wanted before, and the cage, and again, all these chickens. So many chickens. I'm pretty sure that this is what comes out a whole chicken in a can, which is a thing that exists. And I just thought I should inform you all of, for anybody here who has never seen that particular video from Ashen's. Which is quite old now, so I suspect a lot of people already have. Oh, wow. Somebody's goaltending over here. Well... That's, yeah, spawn camping indeed, so, Alright, can I just use iframes, please? Apparently not well enough. I have not mastered that particular art, but managed to... Yeah, the whole chicken in a can is absolutely not great looking. That's something that'll put you off a chicken for a good percentage of your life. Heck! I missed a thing. Damn it, damn it, damn it, damn it. Well, at least we're done with the area that was giving me a bunch of crap earlier. So... if I have to tank deaths, especially if I miss a switch at point blank, amazing. That's about how good I am at FPSs, actually. So yeah, we're done with that whole optional loop there. That's what we call level design, I think. Not good level design, but level design nonetheless. I've never played Overwatch, so I can't actually say anything about that. But, like, when I played TF2, I mostly played, like, the Heavy and the Pyro, because I was really terrible at aiming. So I was just like, okay, let me play characters that don't require me to do... Or the Engineer, because the Engineer is always a good time. And by that, I mean... you're, not really. Not a lot of Demo Man. I was okay for... like, setting up stickies and stuff, but after that, I was not particularly useful. I was not good at launching grenades at people. I tell you, I definitely didn't play the sniper. And when I did, I was using the Huntsman to try and abuse that hilariously gigantic hitbox on that arrow. Oh, we got a... oh, we got an interesting situation here where I'm gonna get knocked right off the barrel and have to redo the electric fence section again. Well, that's okay. We got all the collectibles, so there's minimal pressure here. But I forgot that this part happened where the two barrels move simultaneously and also noticeably slower than in this section. And we really can't hit this jackass. So this becomes a game of, well, first of all, of me jumping into the sludge, but also where you have to jump between the barrels to avoid getting hit by the explosives. It's just pure dodging, which is interesting. Yeah, I definitely fucked that jump up pretty badly. That's a classic blunder for sure. Yeah, look at this green shirt guy. I want the health. I apparently don't want it that much, though. And that's why you gotta remember to jump between the barrels. And they did place it at an angle where it's not just like... well, it's at an angle as you... They placed it at an angle where it's at an angle. Yes! Yes! I'm so good at words, everybody! Can you believe that I majored in something where I had to write a lot? Where was I? So, yeah, it's not necessarily the simplest thing to do the jump, especially because there's well, this sort of like 15-degree angle and also a wide berth between the two, or at least it sure feels like it. So definitely, it's like the best way to do this is actually to jump back and forth, and this goon just missed us completely. Are we safe for the moment? We're getting a camera angle that makes me feel like we're not. And I hear a cage. Alright, so we got another missile mic over here. And thing we can blow up. I'm not sure if the cage is over there or not, but I hear it more on this side. There we go. Easy. I mean, I took a bonk for it because I threw the barrel right up against the wall, but we're gonna ignore that part of things. And I'm gonna really wish they would actually have let us ambush the guy in the green shirt, but we don't get that. We instead just get to pass through the rest of this section. Been like 15 minutes. 15? Been like 25 minutes since I saved. Yeah, that part took a lot of time. It's not like the area in Sanctuary of Stone and Fire where we had the sound glitch and the walking shell course that was ridiculously hard. Technical checkup, you say? Oh, well, look who it is. Old Pencilhead.
Rayman! Clark!
Don't do it. You're gonna trip over the laser. Oh. Oh no, he's been shonked. Actually, he's just being remote controlled by the goofus that we saw. Keep seeing earlier. Well, I guess if Razorbeard does want to have his ass, this will be, at least it's reasonable because he's getting in on the action. Alright, turn that perspective off, and oh, he combos us. Alright, come on, run into the death. Run into the thing and trip over. Alright. I suppose technically this is a boss, but it's more of a weird puzzle than that, because the amount of fighting that truly happens here is a little bit limited. However, thankfully, we can get some we can get hits in on Clark's weird radio pack thing that he's been stuck with while he's standing back up, which that's a first. And we got 2 hits in at the end.
What a great kid. You're really the best.
Oh, yeah!
You're not going to ask anything about those big holes in your back, are you, buddy? Because I don't know how to explain this properly.
You know what? You should take a look in this room. This is where the pirates store their inventions.
Oh, cool. So we can get, like, well, anything, really. You know, I'm thinking a thing that shoots black powder kegs. Oh no, these pirates are pretty good at, like, doing actual stuff.
Yippee!
Hooray! We swallowed a magnet. Usually that kills you. And there it is. There's lum number 1000. Lum's radar works with R2. Oh, that is a gift and a half. That is really spectacular because that is going to help us get 100% without me just being like, hey, let me look at guides. Oh, if there was internet, I'm pretty sure these guys would be downloading a lot of movies. Don't go swallowing magnets, kids. Yeah, there you go. Instead, suck them into your chest ring, which I'm sure you have, being a regular human child. Can we stand on your shoulders? There's a fan up there. So I guess we missed 5 lums in the core level. I don't have a chest ring. I don't know how to tell you this, Mark, but most humans do not have chest rings. It is a shockingly rare thing that I guess we just sort of evolved out of having at some point or another. Sounds like a... Well, I guess you're right. I don't know what to tell you there. The Vlandibgular chest ring. Yeah, Mark, you didn't happen to watch any cursed videotapes recently, did you? Particularly not Betamax? Also, where's my background music? I'm confused and scared. They took away my music. I don't know where I am anymore. Besides hell. But that's just the human condition. Yeah, and I don't know what to tell you. I think it's just glitching out. I do not recall these kinds of issues on my actual legitimate copy of this, but I was having some issues capturing sound from that in general on my very outdated thing that does composite video. So I switched to an emulator. And Fire Drake's over there making classic Invader Zim references. Good God, I have not thought about Invader Zim in a very long time. Like, there was that time when it briefly flared back up because there was a movie that came out. If I'm correct, and I may not be, that there was indeed an animated film of Invader Zim that came out a couple of years ago that was called, like, Enter the something or other. I don't remember exactly what the name of it was. I remember it existed, and I also remember kind of expecting it to, like, explode, and then it didn't. Not in terms of, like, being actually made of explosives, but in terms of popularity, I feel like... Also, in particular, I believe that it was a thing back when Tumblr was still basically the major social media platform. And yeah, those were dark days indeed. For anyone who was thinking that, you are absolutely correct. That was a period in history for sure. I kind of felt like it would have socketed in strangely well to certain parts of Tumblr's, you know, interests. i.e. that Zim would have been a shockingly good new Onceler. I really hope that if anybody rewatches this, they don't know what the hell I'm talking about, but... That really is probably a cursed thought, though, isn't it? So, I'm kind of surprised that it didn't take back off. And also, yeah, by the way, I'm gonna go look for some lums now. There's 2 green things there for some reason. That's weird. I'll come back to this to do the next level, which I believe is called the Iron Mountains, in a few... Yeah, follow Clark. I get it. He probably knows where things are. So... Yeah... Invader Zim definitely is something that throws me back quite a bit. I think I still have at least some portion of the series on DVD from back when DVDs of Invader Zim actually existed, which feels like a very, very distant memory because I remember, well, first of all, distant memory because DVDs, and second of all, because I seem to recall that it was very hard to get those on any sort of official recorded media. For some reason or another. That, like, I guess Nickelodeon just didn't want to make a whole lot of them because they were like, oh, well, it's not doing numbers of, like, whatever they would have wanted it to. You know, not comparable to something else that is quite large that I couldn't necessarily name drop a particular thing, but can simply say that it was not as huge as a lot of people were, as the executives would have wanted, really. Hard to say a lot of people because executives, well, network executives, I'm not sure how much they constitute being, well, certainly not the voice of the average viewer, that's for sure. So yeah, maybe I should dig those out sometime over the weekend. It'd give me something to do, that's for sure. Ruin the internet's nostalgia eventually by pointing out that it wasn't as good as they remember. Also, I believe we can go do this now. We can go open that one area that... well, we can do the thing in the Menhir Hills. And we can do the thing in the Sanctuary of Ice and Water, or whatever it was called. Because we should be able to light torches, which means we can light the cannon. We can also get a bunch of these chuckleheads out here, as usual, and not get the music loading in properly here. I definitely remember that a lot of areas were a little bit dicey like this. I just don't remember it being as bad as on this. I should clarify from what I said earlier, because yes. Oh good, give me the battle music after I've killed everything in the area. In fact, quite possibly everything. That's what needs to happen, yes. Absolutely. Absolutely, Roddy. Oh wait, no, there's some more pirates here. Heck. Oh, hi, little crab. Okay, well, I think the music is coming back in. I appear to be wrong. It's a low drone at best. Ow. I was too close to that, but I always get a little uncertain as to whether or not those things are going to succeed. Yeah, and here we're getting some ambient noise, but it's not music anymore. Now I'm just going to focus a little too heavily on that music. Hi there, Bronco. How is it going? Alright, so there we go. We get the cannon going, and... Alright, so we're still missing 2 lums. I guess they're on the slide. Because, as we've probably seen decently... He'll be back a little later? That's alright. Well, you go ahead and have yourself some dinner. As I was gonna say, the lum radar picks up everything that is in the same room, area bounded by save points, whatever you want to call it. Zone. Loading zone, there we go. I think loading zone is kind of the term that is used in a fairly technical sense in at least a couple of games. I don't know that it's necessarily correct here, but the idea is basically the same. It will track everything inside of this area that is between save points, so we know that we're not missing anything else in this area. Oh, we're definitely getting some shit going on here, I guess. The music is breaking down quite heavily. I'm starting to feel like I'm in a bit of a creepypasta almost. Not quite, but like the fact that we're getting just this thin signal. Definitely I feel like I've done something wrong. Despite the fact that all I'm doing is playing this game on an emulator. It's like, oh, what? Are you playing this game that you own legitimately on an emulator? It's time for you to die! It's kind of like the psychological feeling you get with trying to play an Android game on an Android emulator, which is how I am currently playing the very few mobile games that I play is via BlueStacks because my Android tablet is not very good. And occasionally they will just run into some issues after updates where it's like, oh, I've gotta wait a bit for this to actually be usable on the emulator, or I have to update or do some sort of exploits. That's how most people play Dead by Daylight mobile. I suppose that kind of scans because, like, well, anything that is involved enough, people are not gonna necessarily be doing that on a tablet or a phone. They will want to sit down for it at an actual machine with some reasonable power behind it. And I do know that it's not like spending money on those things is an issue, so really I feel like game devs should be less upset about the whole thing, basically, is what I'm trying to say. It's not a situation like one of these games where it is, you know, possibly involving money not getting to the developers, and I missed something earlier, so I gotta fall off. Don't let the green thing have somehow snapped to my presence. There we go. I've got it. I should point out, by the way, and this is another reason why I really wish I had, like, an input display for this controller. I'm sure that might be something I can do in pure software, but I need to really point out that I'm mashing the X button quite a bit here. I cannot enter hover mode in this. I am stuck doing my single jump, and I can't helicopter to, like, slow down or affect my movement or anything like that, and moving side to side in the air is not exactly trivial. Also, that constant low rumble in my ear that is masquerading as music is a little bit strange. And also strange is the fact the starry sort of skybox is very obviously shaped. So, like, you can tell the existence of room boundaries and stuff in this. It's not... the optical illusion does not work. And I'm trying to remember if it's just a this version thing or what. And we missed it again. And of course, it's a slide. One of the things that 3D platformers of the era were obsessed with. We can't turn around. If you've ever played, well, again, like any 3D platformer, there was one of these sort of auto-scrolling things in just about all of them. Mario 64 had, I want to say 3 slide areas. Yeah, there was the one, there was the Castle Secret slide, there's the one in Tall Tall Mountain, and there's the one in Cool Cool Mountain as well. And all but the Tall Tall one had multiple stars associated with them because, you know, fuck you. And, I actually don't think Banjo-Kazooie had one, which is a positive mark in that game's favor. DK64 had 2 of them, and both of them were fucking miserable. They were definitely, like, some of the worst parts of the... Wow, that overshoot. That's a problem. It's a peddling. And a lot of the games that didn't have anything like that definitely had, like, some sort of auto-scroller as well, so... Like, not all of them get off easily, but at least it... You know, the closest you get to this concept, I feel like, not counting a vehicle segment... Excuse me, in a Crash game is, like, the chase levels. And you definitely had some control in those. Whereas this, control is definitely, your ability to control yourself is definitely reduced, and I overshot once again. I'm going to just have to, like, not press X, aren't I? I probably should, like, just stop and just carry on with the rest of the game and be like, hey, I think we can finish this today. And maybe do 100% next Wednesday or something. If indeed that is the way that the game is structured, which I admit that I cannot remember. But at this point, I'm very set in my ways a little bit here. There we go. Yeah, don't touch the X button to get that one. That's a bit of a throw-off that will certainly get you. You don't have to jump there. Here we just have to swing to the end because the bosses don't respawn, because that would be silly. No need to play that bonus game. Let's go back to this area. And I guess we should probably carry on with the plot or something. I don't know. I'll do it. I'll do it.
There are no more men here, but there's still some lums left.
Are there even cages left here to get? I don't suppose there are.
There are no more.
Well, yeah, there's actually one still. I was wrong. So we go back to Rainbow Creek and we go to... somewhere. No need to save the game right now. Oh yeah, the big hole in the wall. That seems like probably about where we want to go. As we just finally get a little bit of music coming in. As we're leaving the area. I will save here, though, because we are now entering a new level. This is... I believe this level is called the Iron Mountains, but I could be wrong. Hell. Surprised I couldn't make that gap. Maybe I could have if I was better at the game, but eh. It's a bit late to develop skill now. Ooh, they're really not wanting me to get over there. I'm gonna have to go from the one hoop to the next, aren't I? And that's going to be really tight. Yeah, we get more of these chuckleheads, because someone at Ubisoft really liked making your ears rumble, I guess. Good thing I play these games with headphones. My dog was barking in the background, and I just sort of realized, hey, yeah, my dog would be barking a lot more if she had to hear this shit. Why? Oh dear God, what's going on here? I did not remember this. This is definite flashing lights warning here, folks. I would like to apologize for that. Okay, so the electricity is out of the hole, which means that's where we're gonna go now, right? Well, it does seem like we haven't missed lums, at least, so that's good. Send in this valley area here. Gotta admit, this architecture is seeming a little bit nonsensical. Well, you know, level architecture anyway. Natural architecture. I'm not sure that a natural formation really constitutes architecture, but well, natural formation in world, so. And there we go. Fist power up. Lack of ability to control the camera. That's about what I've come to expect from this game. Also a complete lack of music. Cage in the area. Forward from here. Scanning the perimeter here before we move on. Just in case. Actually thinking about Crash Bandicoot, because of course now I am, now that I've broached the topic like 20 minutes ago. Because I have my new graphics card and everything hooked up, I should see if Insane Trilogy wants to run on my PC, because I was having some issues with it before. Again, possibly from trying to overpush the settings or whatever. And I want to see if it works, because that would be pretty nice. Easier for streaming than getting the Switch and everything hooked up. Okay, so we're done with this area in terms of collectibles. We just proceed down the valley. Do we have to go back over and around or something? Oh, oh. We're back here. So yeah, I guess we do have to go over and around. Hello there, Max Harder. How are you this evening? I presume it's evening for you as well, because you're saying good evening. Climb the net. Drop here. And then go this way? Oh, there's a cage. Yeah, this is definitely where we want to go. Getting quite a musical change here. From none playing at the time. Gotta admit, that really is very weird. With there being so many areas with just no music. I'm doing pretty alright, thanks. I'm playing through this game. We're pretty far along. I haven't played this game in a very long time, though. Like, it's definitely been within the last 10 years, but it's been a while since then. Between then, rather. And yeah. Admittedly, I am discovering that this game isn't quite as good as I remember it being, but I'm still having a reasonably fun time. Outside of a select few areas. I'm glad to hear you're doing alright. It's 2 a.m. right now in Germany. Well, I feel like that still qualifies as evening. Morning is past the point where folks start waking up. Also, that was very weird. We had a little bit of a, basically a cutscene there. There was nothing for us to do, and we get to this area, and oh, I remember this. Oh, ho, ho. There's some nasty shit in this area. Because, for a start, we've got... you saw those things popping up. Let's get a look at this. This is, this thing is just sort of an obstacle that happens to move. Also, yeah, you can get crushed by those rocks very easily when they're moving around. And there's stuff underneath them, but I forget how you actually get it. And that's going to cause some issues with our lum radar, probably going a little haywire in a couple of places. Also, only a minor amount of swinging there. Hey. Did I say you could do that? No, and that's the issue. Yikes! Hey, 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 hey. Really, buddy? You gonna... I gotta get some range there. yeah, sorry about your ears. That is a nastily placed enemy for sure. Oh, God! Oh no! At least we get the music. But this section, this section is very weird. It's a little hard to keep up with. And also, we're going to be exploring a little bit for more lums. Not to mention the 4 that are out. I think it's 4 that are out in the field underneath those rocks. But this is a part where we really get to see the whole thing with the twisting and everything get really put to use very heavily in order to allow us to climb up and down those, well, basically masts. And we can also bounce around hilariously, because why not? And we have to go along this whole network of wooden BS here, and we got to hit some switches. Also, occasionally we just do that because we fell off. This part is definitely... one or more game designers made some enemies with this. This is for sure. I will fully admit, though, I still love this concept of the running shell. It's pretty great. It just probably deserved to be in a better game. Along with the music. Your frames are dropping? Oh, that's not good. I should definitely have a look at my video quality in a few then. But I appreciate you coming out, as always, Mark. I appreciate when you support the... my bitrate is tanking a little bit here, and I'm getting some pretty big frame drops, so... I think we're definitely hitting upon the part of the evening where my internet connection just decides to have a bad time. It's weird because everything was fine for a little bit. So, I'm pretty sure that doing 60 FPS in the future is 110% the way of... Well, I'd say the way of the future, but the way of the future like 7 years ago, probably. It's the way of the future, just like the steam engine, the penny farthing, the cotton gin, and bronze tools. Well, that's all the lums for the level. Maybe I don't have to hit any switches in this section, because I seem to be able to get in and out just fine without it, and I gotta remember, square button is to boost. And in an area like this, X should allow me to jump. Ow. That's not smart. That doesn't work. Do 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 do. I forgot where I'm going. It's okay, I could probably just reset this section and it'll be fine. I do wish it just popped me back at that checkpoint, though. Yeah, we get it. You're from space. Ow. The space between my eyeballs. Ow. I've bruised it from getting a missile shoved into it. My ears. Rumbling has finally stopped. Oh, be careful we don't get under that crate. Alright, checkpoint, and let's go. I guess we gotta follow the signs, right? Oh, they disappear pretty quickly. Well, crud. Okay, wait a second. If I loop back around, I can go down. I saw a place where I could go down. I just gotta remember where it is. Okay, well, I do see a switch over there. That's something. Something to be mindful of. Oh, that's not right. I gotta... Yeah, this part might be a little bit irritating just by for the viewers, just by virtue of the fact that I have now somehow managed to forget how to get where I'm going. Alright, here we go. On the wall. And this is the way we want to go, I believe. Oh, I got stomped. Damn it. Yeah, that big robot two-legged thing, I always thought it was a dinosaur. But that big two-legged walker, that big chicken walker, is going to be a bit of a pain to deal with. Ah, chicken walkers. They definitely exist. And they make up a not exactly... Oh. What's the matter, game? You don't want to hear me make that joke? You don't want me to hear... You don't want to hear me say that chicken walkers make up a not exactly paltry proportion of the existing mecha in the world of fiction? What I thought. Alright, well. Away we go. These sections always give me trouble. It was this way, right? Yes. Yeah, get fucked, buddy. We're out of here. We're Cave Johnson. We're out of here. Save after that absolute mess of what we would laughingly consider gameplay on my part. And here we are at the edge of the world, taking a platform up to an area with a boss fight in it. And a mask frozen in ice. Hey, what's up, buddy? So, this guy, I want to say that this guy is actually new to this entire section here. Grolgoth 13. So hey, basically classic shmup controls. I actually quite like that. It's nice and simple. And honestly, this fight doesn't seem too hard so far. So when's the screw job coming? Because again, we've seen how this game does boss fights. They're pretty impolite. So is it all just like, oh, it's going to be a thumb ache? Because admittedly, it's not that bad, but there is a lot of repetitive. Oh, does it take that much to do a third of his health? Wow. Oh, that big fucking cloud, that was unnecessary, sir. Oop. Alright. Whole lot of nothing going on. Are we gonna get some new attacks? Oh, that cascade of boulders was something. Whoa. Alright, are you gonna do another Superman charge at us? Yeah, there you go. Out here trying to Superman that hoe, as it were. That hoe being us, apparently. That caused a bit of an issue. A little bit of a hiccup there. Game's like, oh, wow, we didn't expect anybody to ever get hit by the rocks. The rocks that we animated very, very badly. Whoa. Yeah, we got some serious lag on that there. That was really weird. Well, goodbye, Grolgoth 13. I have very little to say about you, except that your Tornadus was not the only thing that was recyclist. And again, that I believe that that is a unique boss for the Revolution version of the game. Let's grab that mask. get us the heck out of here. You thought I was going to say something else, didn't you? Well, can't say as I blame you. I swear a lot, so yeah.
At last, the final match. Bravo, Rayman. You've brought me back.
Oh, that's some good good use of voice clips there. I was not touching any buttons at the time.
The pirates won't last long.
Oh yeah, or I don't get to.
I will use my powers to destroy the fort and rid the world of the robots that infest it. Alas, my powers have limits. On Earth, the lums make me invincible. But in the air, I am as vulnerable as a newborn. It's you who will have to fight on the prison ship.
Oh, of course.
To give you maximum energy.
Well, at least we get something out of the deal.
Now go and find Razorbeard.
And punch him somewhere he won't like it very much.
Go quickly and have no fear.
Alright, let's get out of here. For Cave Johnson, etc., etc. Alright. Let's save now that we've watched that big old cutscene. And we should now be able to access the prison ship level. Which is a long one.
Bravo! With the energy from the masts, I can take you to the prison ship. Show no mercy and free our friends. If you want to get back to the prison ship, take the shining door.
There's a lot of those. That's not useful to say.
If you want to get back to
And
the
yeah,
prison ship,
there we go. The Iron Mountains is the level we just finished. And let's move on to the prison ship. One cage that apparently contains all of our friends, I guess. And 90 lums in this level. This is a biggin'. And there's a lot of stuff going on here.
Razorbeard receives a special guest.
It's me, motherfucker. Oh no! It's somebody from Tonic Trouble.
Poisoning your life, I've got the antidote. Equipped with the latest power booster, nothing can stop.
And indeed, this is actually a crossover from Ubisoft's other N64 3D platformer with people with no limbs called Tonic Trouble.
Control it yourself or put
It
in
was a very, very strange game.
Can kill, crush, destroy, torture, pull ears. Its legs are programmed to squash fleeing victims. In short, it does everything. Except the dishes.
I like this guy.
The name of this model, the Grolgoth.
The Grolgoth.
Time quickly, I have other clients waiting.
I like that this guy has no eyes, apparently.
I could destroy Rayman.
Oh, it looks adorable.
Smash him.
Pull his ears.
You won't regret it.
Here's your money. It's all there. Count it if you like.
Oh, I trust you.
Actually, it's just that it would take forever to count this bullshit. And I have other clients waiting, apparently. Alright, let's get it on, folks. Get it on! Oh, we don't jump there. We have to actually hit the button ourselves. And again, it's a slide, no hover ability, Which means that collecting these lumps, there's going to be a lot of deaths in our future because I'm going to get these. Heck. I missed one, so it's time to do the thing. Over we go. Excuse. Alright, well, here's where we take a dive. You know, at least here I'm botching on purpose instead of like, oh, look at me, I'm basically doing a full streamer botchamania here. Botchamania is a delight, by the way. If you're even remotely interested in anything related to wrestling, even if it's just making Iron Sheik jokes. Alright, there we go. 21 lums, and we are done with the slide for now. I feel like there's another slide in this area. But let's go ahead and let's get a quick save going. Even if that only took us 2 minutes. Who wants to redo that? Yeah, see, there's more sliding. Yikes! There's a switch we gotta hit in there. Yeah, okay. Alright, let's go ahead and reset our health meters. And also set where we can get that lum again. Wow, we definitely just goofed that entire section completely. Fuck me. Get a quick restart going here. Oh, that jumped way too early there. I'm amazed I actually went that far with that jump, though. We had some pretty serious speed going, I guess. This part is definitely going to be where I eat a lot of deaths, just by virtue of the fact that getting those airborne lums is actually much harder than anything on the wood here. And I jumped way too early once again. I'm having a bit of a depth perception issue in that, with regards to that one lum, basically. Yes! Got it. And now we have to get through this big leap here. Okay, so we got a rolling log of death here that I don't know how to deal with at the moment. Here we go. Yikes, we really gotta be in the danger zone for those. And there's another rolling log of death, so we gotta just go off to the side. I will admit, it does suck that we don't get any checkpoints for this whole area. This is definitely a lot of shit that we're doing here. Also, this whole level design makes, like, no sense. It's just sort of a random mass of pirate ship-themed objects and spiky death rollers, obviously. And, like, just the worst lighting possible. This looks like... If you've ever played Minecraft and been in the Nether with a night vision potion on, this is exactly what it looks like. Yeah, keep in mind, I'm also taking a lot of intentional deaths here as well, Bronco, to try and get as many of these yellow lums as I can, because getting them is pretty hard when we're on a slide, but I do want to get as close to 100% completion as possible. I highly doubt I'm going to round it out completely today, but you know, I may at least be able to finish as many levels as the game will let me. Yeah. All right, we are back into this part. Can we slow ourselves down any? Barely. And if we do, we basically are surrendering all control. Fuck! Oh! That's out of the section. How are you supposed to get all that then? Like, you gotta redo this multiple times on purpose? I don't like that. But fine, I guess we'll save. We're gonna have to do this level a bunch, I guess. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, definitely not 100%ing the game today. Now, for sure. But we're gonna get as much as we can. And here we are in what looks like the ship's control room, but probably not. Look at all these file cabinets. I feel like you just don't get to see enough file cabinets in video games, actually, but... Ow. Give me the hook punch. That's never good. Well, I guess we just have to eat a hit to get that one, huh? Now that the slide part is over, as much as the lack of checkpoints was kind of annoying, I was definitely feeling a little bit in the zone there. That was pretty great. That was some fun stuff. Aside from the collectibles. Which, you know, that is what it is. It's to be expected. And then this part, things are slowing right down here. Very badly. And it's not anywhere near as intense. So, it's kind of a shame because, like, that first part of the level was really great. And this doesn't seem like it's going to have enough meat on its bones. Oh, come on. No clearance whatsoever. Jeez. Hey, man just shoved his face right into a spiked log. Ooh. Oh. Oh, doesn't that shell look a little bit different? And it fell asleep immediately. So here we get a new gimmick. And it is used to form yet another type of auto-scroller, basically. But let's go right over and let us meet our new friend, the Flying Shell. Yes, so this is, like, intentionally designed to control badly, I'm pretty sure. Like, even more than the flying shells, which were not necessarily super great controlling, this is just wow. You just start spinning like you're spinning as soon as you try to turn around, and you have to hold the L2 in order to manipulate only the angle you're turned at, and that is bad, 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 bad design. I admit that I forgot we get this any earlier than the final boss, which, yes, the final boss we're going to be fighting... We're going to be fighting the Grolgoth on one of these things, if I recall correctly. We're going to be dodging stuff, and we're going to be launching shots into the big mech's butt. On the back of the flying shell. And do we shoot using the square button on this thing's back, I guess? And yeah, that's definitely filling me with a sense of almost existential dread. Not yet. Out we go. Alright, so I guess that we just have to touch the switch or something. We just have to tap it and get what we want out of life. And unfortunately, the controls definitely are a little bit on the terrible side. And not helping is the awkward jumps between the two tracks here in terms of the music. Although I do admit that the one track for this section is pretty good. And I think I know where that last lum is. That's down in the lower left corner there. At the far end. Alright. I saw it. I saw it. Yep. Whoa. Breezing by that lava a little bit. Getting ourselves very, very toasty. And into the hole we go. All right. Let's go, let's go, let's go. I wonder if I can finish this and the final boss by 6 o'clock. It would be nice, but this level, there's a lot going on here, and we are on this very questionable gimmick. I believe this is like a looping section too, if it is permitted the chance to do so. Heck. Fuck. I'm losing a little bit of my sense of direction, so I'm turning off the lum radar for a second until I get through that crack. You all remember the crack, right? There we go. Oh, I'm sweating. I know that I probably should be, like, actually using the L2 to stabilize, but I actually quite am enjoying? Question mark? The sheer chaos of, like, just flopping around like this. And, you know, just turning end over end as we go. Although that is, again, fully acknowledging that it's a bad deal. And also, to be fair, I'm not really, like, prone to the kind of reflexes to really hit L1 and... or L1. L2 and, like, do that on a dime as needed to make some of these ridiculous areas less ridiculous. And I guess there's nothing going on in that section, so... Get back into it. Oh. Hey, wow, there's some more health in the area. Whoa. Shit. Oh, wow, that was actually a checkpoint. Are you kidding me? Are those permitted to exist in this level? Oh, we're getting shot in the ass. Unfortunately, we have no boost to avoid the ass lasers, but here we got some lava columns, apparently. God, this place is fucking dangerous as fuck. What kind of idiot-ass engineer designed this ship? Fuck. Wow, okay. That's real good. And yes, these lasers are as hard to predict as you think. Fuck you! Maybe don't shoot me as soon as I spawn in. That is the cheatiest shit I've ever seen. The biggest cheats. That's trying to sue to change the results of an election level cheap. Jesus Christ. Stop. What, do you not like that? You not like me saying that? Fuck you, game. And I do want to point out, by the way, that it's really just that one thing that makes me upset about this. The rest of this is harsh, but it's kind of doable. It's, you know, it's a little crusty, sure, but at this point, a platformer from 2001 being a little crusty, who would have guessed, right? It's the part where you can get shot as soon as you spawn in, which can cause you to ram straight into the wall immediately after you spawn in from the checkpoint. That is the grossest thing. Fuck. Oh yeah, and of course, because this is one long unbroken section, I am now all the way back over here. Butts. Excuse me. Damn it. Got that health for almost nothing. I think. Turning that off for the moment. In a way, the constant rotations from, like, just trying to move it all on the flying shell does sort of add a little bit to the vaguely absurdist architecture of the stage, in a way. Because it becomes hard to tell what's up and what's down and all of that. So it really does contribute to this idea that this is just absolutely weird in terms of design. Alright, here's some more posts. Alright, here we go. Here comes the ass lasers. And a music change. Alright, radar can come back on. Fuck. Good God, that part is hard to get into. That's probably going to be a place where I really do want to stabilize quite heavily. Okay, yeah, that gives us finer, like, up and down control if we so need. Oh. And I mean, probably feels like we... And there we go. That is a double dip that I could do nothing about. That is immeasurably cruel. Hey. I feel like after a time, the lasers stop shooting, so it gets reset to a point where if we get deep enough in here, the ass laser is just definitely going to hit us in the ass, you know? Shit! There is so much stuff there. Like, wow, this place is a mess. Pirates need to clean up after themselves a little better. Hey, whoa, 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 whoa. Yikes. Ooh. Could really use a checkpoint there. Fuck. Fuck, Yikes. I'm real sorry to anybody who has any sort of motion sickness. But a large part of things is that I'm being thrown off very, very badly by those lasers. And like everything else in this area is just grinding me down. Mentally. Fuck. Hell. Ass. Well, okay, that's good because, yeah, if video games set off your motion sickness, this would definitely be a bad time for you. I know that much. And, you know, again, part of it is, part of it is that I'm not necessarily sure I'm playing well, but this is absolutely... You know, just yo-ho-ho and a bottle of backwash. I don't know. This is rough. This is absolutely... Yeah. Again, I will say it for what is now probably the 10th time this stream, but I really wish I had some sense of an input display going up right now, because I would love for folks to see how it would give a better idea as to how this controls. There was a note back when I was doing the Sanctuary of Stone and Fire missile section that didn't look like it controlled well, and it really doesn't. This controls even worse. And what's even worse is that from the control scheme, I can only think that it was designed to control badly on purpose as a source of added difficulty. And so we gotta go through that first section of this section all over again. The lum radar is probably not necessary at this point, even. Thankfully, those peals of lightning can't hit us. However, those stationary posts definitely can. Oh, right. We don't turn there. Not like that, anyway. Alright, we go up here. Go down this path, and we start making a hook. Down this path. More posts. We hopefully don't hit the ceiling. And we get the music changed a little prematurely. Up. Look back. Shit. Oh, it definitely is definitely a fun thing to watch, and I do enjoy the visual aspects of it. Oh man, I have such good memories of playing Star Wars Episode 1 Racer when I was a kid. I rented that game a lot of times. And it was just a lot of fun. It was a very, very good game. I know that there's a lot of people who are like super big fans of the prequels nowadays, but I'll just say that it was probably the best thing to come out of Star Wars Episode 1 by a very wide margin. It's such a good game. I bought that on Steam recently, I think, because there's a port of it for PC. I think there's a version on Switch as well. So that would be a fun thing to get out and, you know, realize I'm not that great at racing games, too. Yeah, and I'm pretty sure the base price is only $10, so, you know, get it. You can get it on sale for just dirt cheap, really, and away you go. Right, and we're getting shot in the butt a few times. Hey, we got all the red lums there. Not really important to do, but it was nice. It was a bit of what I think the kids call a power move nowadays. What am I kidding? I don't know what any words mean anymore. All right, we're back in this area. That's like the start of a sewer level. Hell. Let's get back up there. Come on. Get in there. Turn us over. When Z Frank used the term power move, yeah. I genuinely love just the overall presentation of Z Frank's videos. Just anytime he just... Because he spends enough of the time being very serious that they will just say something really ridiculous out of nowhere. And it will just be hilarious on that. It'll just be so much funnier on that level just by virtue of it being presented in such a serious manner. Alright, so here we are in the thick of shit. We don't have to think about the lum radar ever again. Not for this level anyway. And we are coming back out through the tube here. Fuck! Oh god. Oh god, why? Z-Frank is still... he started doing stuff again, like, last year, I think? So I'm pretty sure that he's still pretty active occasionally. Alright, so we're... well, here comes the part where we have to deal with the ass lasers, and you have to get in the hole. Not the time, guys. Oh god, we gotta do this whole section too. Oh shit, on a stick, and we're through there. Wow. I actually thought there was much more to that. Holy crap. Whoo! Wow. That is a level. It's a level, and we're back on a ground missile, apparently.
All the way back, kids.
That, wow. Now Rayman's just gonna break a bunch of shit, and you know, that's gonna be quite cool. Everybody involved. Nice bird. Oh, the TNTs have little prison uniforms. I shouldn't find that adorable, but it actually really is. Like, on top of that, it's kind of amazing that they even... The pirates went out of their way to make them little prison uniforms. And on top of that, I'm pretty sure they had little caps. Yeah, they got little hats! Like... that's kind of awesome. That's really great. I don't think that's something I should be calling great, but here we are. Let's save over after that cutscene, because that was like a solid minute, and yeah. May as well. So we are 93% to 100%, basically. Alright, Crown Man, do you want to tell me... Does anyone want to tell me where we can go fight the Grolgoth now? There we go. Unfortunately, there's still... Yeah, we can do that. Alright, you know what? Let's go for it. I'm feeling confident that I can finish this at a reasonable hour tonight. And admittedly, this was just supposed to be a test of making sure that I can do 60 FPS without my computer blowing up or my network adapter dying horribly or anything. And I mean, I've had some chunks of questionable frame rates. But we're just going to go ahead and we're going to finish this tonight, I guess. And, you know, put the last 7% as something I'll do on a Friday. Just learned this came out the same year as Lemmings Revolution. Interesting. Also, yeah, look how big this robot is. And I suppose it's very likely... I would not be surprised by that. I almost was about to say, wasn't the GameCube almost called the Revolution? No, I'm thinking of the Wii. Wow, what a dick.
Are you okay, Globots? I'll be fine. Go!
I mean, he's got a rope tied to his unmentionables, apparently, but... Actually, on this stream, they're absolutely mentionable. He appears to have a rope tied to his dick. Or at least as close as they're allowed to show us in a kid's game. And by the way, I don't know how to fight this boss. I just remember that there's a flying segment later. Alright, so waiting around doesn't seem to be generating a positive effect here. There we go. It just takes a bunch of hits for him to actually take damage. Okay. Oh. We're getting some pulse shots thrown at us. I suppose what we want to do is keep a decent distance here before we start throwing shots at the cannonballs. Otherwise he tries to, yeah, look at him sidestep. We gotta line our shots up a little bit here. Uh-oh. Oh. Oh, I thought we were gonna get one of those sections where, like, you have to run away from the crosshair. Oh, well, that's a strange musical cut there. Unfortunately, your voice is a little too creepy to make that a settling thing, so... As we just get floated in air. And... incoming missile for us to ride on, because I think that's... Oh, right. I guess we land on the platform. I could have sworn that we, like, caught the missile in the air, so clearly I don't remember the... There's a lot of parts of this that I don't remember very much. Oh, it's, like, actually kind of, like, personified in a way. Oh boy, creepy floating head. That's what all of us need to have.
You were sensational.
We only 1/3 killed it. Come on. Again, it's only 1/3 dead. That's a bit of a... That's a bit of a stretch to say that Razorbeard is nearly beaten. What chains? I didn't have any.
On land, Polycus eliminated all the robo-pirates.
Good for him. I bet they're back if we go into those levels again. Alright, let's do this. Let's... Oh, there we go. There's the crosshair. Rayman, you better get the fuck out of there. Alright, so I don't know what we do here. Do we ram him? Or do we turn around? I think we're gonna have to go grab those little spark thingies and give him what for. But again, it really helps if we have a good sense of direction in terms of that. Good for you, Razorbeard. Like, you know, notices about what the controls would be like would be helpful. Alright, so we start off having to turn around. There we go. Alright, so does another one spawn somewhere else? Oh, buddy, you can't hit with shit. Come on. Whoa! Oh, I'm being tailed. Never mind. Don't taunt the robot pirate. So, because I think there's a very real chance of me running out of health here, I really hope that we respawn at this part of the fight instead of having to, you know, redo the entire cannonball section. That would kind of suck. Especially if we have to go through the cutscenes again, because, you know, having to redo cutscenes, that's like nobody's favorite part of any video game ever. Alright, so... the Grolgoth is over here jumping between these, Oh, and of course, Fuckface is starting to throw in more taunts. Oh, did we restart the entire shooting section here? It kind of looks like we did, because that health bar is back to being bulked up nicely. That is cruel. Well, I suppose we still have some shots left, so... or are they not going to let us continue to use these? Ooh, this is gonna be a hell of a thing. So it actually looks like we can do 3 hits on Razorbeard / the Grolgoth per orb. Which is quite nice. You having a good time there, Mr. Razorbeard? Beard. Razor Ridge. Razor Ramon. Fuck. Well. Oh, the lava definitely rose after that point. Is that like a normal part of the fight that oh, we gotta redo the whole thing. You jerk. Can we get that music back, please? Also, I like that he's got guns in his feet instead of, like, using the regular blaster there. He's... that sure is a design. Yep, and yeah, we're back to no background music here. That's a pain. Alright, come on. Don't be like this. Just... just roll over. Again, I hope we skip the cutscenes, because, yeah. Again, it kind of amazes me that, like, now that I think about it, this is not a good fighting strategy here that Razorbeard has going. I don't need that active. That's silly. Fuck, I'm doing this really badly. Can I... alright. And skip cutscene. Okay, I would love some more health, but I don't think we get it, so... yeah, we gotta do the whole thing on 1 health bar. And I gotta actually remember to pick up the ball properly. Well, we're gonna restart that, I guess, and hopefully get more health back. This fight is taking quite a bit out of me, that's for sure. Alright. So, foot blast, we dodge by running in circles, basically. The big leap, we just keep going around the main ring of the ring. And we fuck that up because we're out of position. Alright, so here. That's not any better, actually. But I say that's better. It's not. All right, can we just stand like right in the middle here? Apparently not. No. You ass. Would you like to stop that, please? There we go. Alright, so one more hit. I would prefer to have taken 0 more hits. That's a big jump. Alright, so... Incorrect aim. Come on. Where is that targeting going? Fuck you. I swear the targeting in this game is just really bad. Sometimes. Like, it amazes me how valuable that can be for certain fights, and then you get points like that where it's just like, oh, by the way, this does not work. And somehow I missed the thing there, which, you know, okay. Fuck me. Where is it? Is it on the other side now? It sure is. Okay. There we go. Quit your griping. Did I goof up that one? Yes, I did. Fuck! Ow. Yes, this whole section really is don't take a hit at all. Jesus, that's cruel and unusual. Even by this game's standards. Then again, compared to like anything in the original Rayman, which is just brutal from start to finish, this had a few moments where we were having minimal trouble. Shit. Yeah, those shots felt like being a little unrelenting. Nice. Yikes. And we're doing things a little bit differently here. And that kind of wasn't a good idea because eventually my luck ran out there. Fuck! I'm really bad at controlling this. What's the matter? No trackers? There you go. Shit! Really? That time you're just gonna have me die immediately? That's one thing that's a real pain about both the shells, is that you're not always sure how much of a collision you can actually take. Like, clearly a head-on collision will end you, but then there's times when it's like, oh, well, I just barely clipped something, and that's enough to do it. Oh, did the other shot not hit somehow? Well, that's cool. God dang it. There we go. Fuck! Well, that entire run was not very good anyway, so fine. Whoa. Turn. Oh yeah, it is definitely rising. Oh, shit, buddy. I'm not a fan of that. Fuck you, fall down. Damn it! The fucking seeker shots. During the raised lava section, that's a big problem because I gotta like actually figure out a good way to deal with them then. And I gotta, oh jeez, oh, this is pissing me off quite a bit. And fuck you too, game. Give me a second here. I'm gonna turn a fan on. My room is getting really hot. Please ignore any over-the-top noises from my chair. We are back, everybody. Let me just unpause real quick here, and let's get into it. Try to do this part without getting hit would be nice. Alright, run a sort of fucked up figure of 8 pattern. Alright, well, we're 2 for 3 so far. Really nice music in this segment, you know? Real good soundtracking on this particular part of the fight. I don't know why it was fine earlier. Alright. Get up, and there's no figure eights there. Alright, here we go. We grab our bullets, and we just crash right into the fucking thing right away. Why does Razorbeard even have this? As, like, part of his... I assume part of his ship. Why does this exist anywhere? Why are these metallic vents full of lava? Well, I swear I'm getting better at... Fuck off! Wow! Really? They were that close to me? And I touched the lava, of course I did. Well, turn around. Because we know the shot's over here now. You can tell I'm getting a little bit pissed off about this section by now. Because, like, wow, this is going on too long. Alright, good. I heard the seeker shots break. Alright, so we're gonna go down this path immediately to try and warn off any seekers? Well, okay, I guess not, because they decided not to get fired. And so we gotta do it after we hit Razorbeard. Turn. Grab this. Alright. So I think this is when he starts trying to raise the temperature on us. Right? At this point? Or is it some other part? After 5 hits? Because now I'm getting really confused because, yeah. Of course, this part, yeah. Yeah, you do this. Alright. I'm content to just go around the edge of the room until I have to. Change my pattern, buddy. Alright, let's grab this shot and let's... I said let's grab the shot. Motherfucker! Ah! You're not afraid of me, why don't you get out of your tin pot and fight me like a man? Or a razor thing. I don't know. Because you know you can't win a fist fight against Rayman. I don't know why my depth perception in this section is really bad, which is like one of the big things that's keeping me from getting this shot so perfectly every time, is that I'm having really bad depth perception for it, so yeah. Alright, so we go back to doing things this way. Yeah, we get it. You've got these tracker shots because your giant robot has guns in its feet for some reason. It's like the shoe phone, except it's a gun. Damn it! You mean I didn't do that tight enough? Oh right, it's because this is designed to control badly, so you, whenever you try to turn, you basically just fishtail. Also, yes, this absolutely is way over long, by the way. If anyone was thinking that, waiting for someone else to say it, yes, this fight is far, far too long. Alright, buddy, you do your thing, and we'll do this, and I guess we gotta fly around the edge of the room to make sure that that works. Or does not work, as the case may be. Alright, so now I gotta figure out where the shots are. Like, I gotta do it fast, because I'm pretty sure he's gonna raise the... gonna boil the frog on us again, and... here comes more seeker shots. Which he's just firing pretty much at a constant rate now. And apparently I missed him with one of my shots, so that's good. I'm gonna have to do this sequence again. Oh, I've done pretty good so far. This is a Razorbeard, so we're gonna empty that. Oh, did he take extra damage there? Fuck! We were almost done! Seriously, it was just one more round. Well, he said never do that again after I shot him while he was in the lava, so does he take further damage if we hit him while his ass is on fire? Yes, he does. Unfortunately, controls, as in this section, doesn't have any. Ooh, he's getting smarter. He's trying to fire the seeker shots at us when they're more likely to hit. Oh, I think we hit him with his own thingam there. That's pretty great, if so. Alright, so... yeah, he's not having a good time. And neither am I. I was... Jesus. Fuck. Ugh. Boners! At least we know a way to speed this up a little bit, but still. They literally just introduced this fucking level ago. Giving us a really god-awful section with it, but... oh, and he hits you with the actual body, too, because of course he does. Well... I'm not gonna cut stream until I finish this. So, strap in. It's gonna be 4 AM when I'm done. And in fact, I want to reset this entire fight now. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna walk off the edge and just tank a full death here, because both of those hits were bullshit. Come on. Also, that scream gets cut off, and was I standing off of the edge of the arena a little bit there, and it just decided not to let me drop until... yeah, there's a little bit of, like, cartoon physics going on, I guess, because they're trying to imply that this area is slanted, but it doesn't really look like it. Oh. here come these. Figure 8 pattern. Alright, we're far enough away that it's not trying to jump at us. Ha! Get fucked, moron. Stupid fucking robot. I'm sort of descending a little bit, I admit. This is this is worn on me psychologically. In fact, I don't even like this music anymore. Alright. Well, you know what? Saying that, this music's alright. Did I hit him? Yes. Okay, thank goodness. I was gonna be real mad if that didn't hit. Granted, I'm already kind of mad, but, you know. You shut up. You lost your rights to complain when you started being a boss, Razorbeard. And, you know, the enslavement and all that other stuff. And we are in here really late. Oh, goggly goodness. Lower the hot soups, that way I can get in there and get more shots. Or am I just screwed now? I mean, I guess I could try luring the seeker shots into him, but... Oh no, he dropped down. Okay. Good, he decided to stop being a shithead. Only to resume being a shithead as I crash into the wall. It's disappointing. Damn it! Okay, we're going all the way around here just to make sure that I get maximum length to shoot at that hand and do that. Ugh! Do you have any idea how good it feels knowing that Michel Ancel's career in the video game industry is fucking over? Or at least I sure hope it is. The guy quit to do personal things, and then it immediately came out that he was an abuser right afterwards. So, my sincere hope is that his career is completely destroyed, and even if he wanted to return, that he would never work in this town again. Because that's what he deserves. Yeah, whatever. You're setting up the gamer girl bath lava. I get it. Now we gotta sit in here twiddling our thumbs for the length of supper's ready. And go get our shots. Did both of those fail? It sure looks like it. And I hear his seekers are still going. Well, one of them fit. But fuck you, man. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. Well, that was barely even an attempt anyway. God, I just want to be done with this. God, can you imagine introducing a whole new gimmick for just the last level and final boss of a game? Like, can you imagine what a complete jackass you'd have to be to do something like that? Yikes. Oh, we're getting in tight here. Fuck me. Feeling the heat, if you will. Alright, did we get him? Unfortunately, we did. It's unfortunate because in that case, I rammed into a pillar right afterwards because I set that shot up really badly. Don't. Oh! Damn it! Shoot 4 shots into his belly button. Don't care about his seeker shots. Fuck you. Anyone want to mentally imagine how fucking buck wild the control this section looks in a speed run? Because goodness knows, I'd like to know myself now. And I did that really badly anyway. I kind of forgot to start unloading into his navel in the first place. God, I've probably been at this for like an hour. Just this part of the proceedings. Oh, what, this? What's the matter, you ticklish, Razorbeard? Damn it, I missed one of those shots. Yeah, I was gonna say, I could hear his seeker shot still hot on my tail. Get bent, asshole. Ugh! Fucking hell! Can this thing at least be consistent as to where it comes back when it respawns, please? Please? And shoot him in the junk a couple of times. Alright, come inside. Somehow bees along the edges there. Okay. Sure. Sure. Just get up immediately when you're... That was strange. That was very strange. So I got this a little better. I think. I got at least an idea as to how to really do it. I avoid being too close, because while he's thrashing, he will usually suddenly decide that that's a good time to suddenly start waking up. Alright, let's go. Get this shot. Whoa, 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 whoa. Alright. Here we go. And into the hot soup. Yep, we're... Well, we're still being tracked, and he's down. Oh! Oh my god! Finally! He's not done! He's not fucking done! Buddy? I swear to god, if I don't get a section in between this. Or is it just gonna be a cutscene? Oh boy. I think it's just a cutscene. Yeah, there we go. We got a bad ending because we didn't get everything, but well, we stopped the pirates anyway. Oh, even the missile is sad. I actually, again, that's kind of adorable. Oh, just his shoe. Well, there we go, folks. That... Oh. It's not a bad ending? So does it not matter if we collect everything or not? Yeah, see, Rayman's fine. Just his shoe came off, and he's walking around with a stick because his shoe is actually his foot. He was basically amputated in the explosion. Well, okay, that is Rayman 2, everybody. I'd like to apologize for this taking so long to get through, and for me not getting 100% on my little run through here. But, I remember that game being so much better. There were a lot of parts in that game that were incredibly just goddamn infuriating. There were... Like, seriously, the fact that they just introduce a new vehicle and throw it at you for a single stage and for most of the final boss is absolutely reprehensible design. This is one of the worst things I've seen in that regard. But there were still some parts of it that were quite fun, and when there was music actually going, it was very good music. The soundtrack is good, the sound effects are good. It's just that apparently somebody forgot to program it to play all of the time. And a couple of the platforming levels were pretty good. I would still probably... I hold enough nostalgic regard for this game to put it at like 2 out of 5 maybe. And say that I do understand why they kept porting and reporting this game, but design-wise nowadays, it's just kind of dated, you know? Could be a lot better. I will at some point come around to finishing 100% of this game, but for now, yeah, that's enough of the ending. I'm going to cut the recording here.